So welcome back friends. Today's our topic would be early Kannada and Telugu literature. Before I proceed further, I would like to have a recap whatever we saw in the last lecture. So let's move to the previous slide. Okay. So let me get a bigger one of it. Okay. Let me get a bigger print for it so that it's easy for you to see. Okay. Yeah, so in the previous lecture, we saw the later Tamil work where we find that early medieval Tamil literature, they were actually including devotional poetry, and they were the two sections. One was the Vaishnava saint and another was the Shiva saint. So Alvars, they were actually the Vaishnava sect, and we came across about their origin and about how from which caste they are coming from. Apart from that, we also saw what were the main purpose of life. So their main purpose of life was to Vaishnavise, okay, and the timeline that was the 5th to 8th century. See, then we saw also some of the names of the first three, okay, first three Vaishnava saint who means actually took up this Vaishnava poetry. Okay. Apart from that, we move ahead and we saw a sacred biography of Vaishnava saint, and that is the Alvar Vyapam. Okay, Alvar Vyapam. That was there. Then we move further and saw Tirumular and Karikala Amayya. Okay. Actually, this was the beginning of the Shiva devotional literature. This was actually the beginning of the Shiva. Then we moved to one of the very great personality, or we can say he is a great means Shiva saint, Nambi under Nambi. Okay, and he is the person who is going to means do a compilation of this. All the hymns of Shiva saint. Okay, whatever hymns who have been written there, he is going to compile into a sacred book, and later on it is going to form Shiva canon. That is the Tirumurari. Okay, Tirumurai. Okay, Tirumurai. Okay, it was Tirumurai. Then we move further and we saw a 12th century work that is Periyapuram. Okay, Periyapurnam. Okay, it was Periyapurnam which is there in the figure, and it's consisting of the account of Shiva saint. Then we move further and we saw the poetic style, how means poem was been composed. There we saw Kalam Prakam, okay, Kalam Prakam, okay. This was the way, or this was the style where means the last word or the last syllables, or we can say the last sentence was picked up from the preceding line, and it was being carried on for the further formation of a stanza, or we can say for the next line upcoming stanza it was being used there. Okay, then we also saw Kovai, that was means here these verses, they were arranged according to thematic sequence. Okay, based on themes it was being arranged. Okay, that style was known as Kovai. Okay, Kovai is the correct pronunciation. Okay, so when we move further, then we also saw that there were the works which was been written in the honor of kings. Okay, so one of them was the Pantikovai. Okay, Pantikovai, that was the work of 6th to 7th century. Okay, then we move ahead. Then we saw that some different kind of literature is coming out. That was Ulla literature. Okay, and in this literature we saw that means songs are being sung in the praise of God and goddesses. We can see that means whenever there is image of deity taken out in the procession, then there was a song, and this particular this section, or we can say this particular things came under the Ulla literature. Okay, then we move to Tutu poetry. Means here means it consists of poem where means message was being delivered to the god or the lover or someone else. It's as it mentions on the screens. Okay, or in the text of the given book. Okay, then we saw the Tamil literature. Apart from that, we also saw that how Tamil grammar was means coming up. Okay, so there we also saw the Rama story, specifically about it was Ram, or we can say it is the Tamil version of Ramayana, and this was written by Kamban. Okay, Kamban is the person who is writing Irama Vartam. Okay, Iram Vartam. Okay, or you can say Iram Vartam. Okay, it's Iram Vartam. Okay, it's Iram Vartam only. Then we move ahead and we are going to see today's topic, that is the early Kannada and Telugu literature. So as you move to this portion in the given book, then you would find Kavi Raj Marg. Okay, it is very very important. It's quite important for you. Okay, so this is the work of 5th to 6th century AD onwards. Okay, so this was actually written by one of the great ruler of Rashtrakuta dynasty. I think you are familiar with his name. That is the Amaghosha first. He is the person who is writing this Kaviraj Marga, and this is the very first work in the Kannada language. Okay, and this is happening during the Rashtrakuta dynasty. Okay, and one more thing you should keep it in mind, that it's actually a 9th century work. Okay, it's actually a 9th century work. Okay, before this there was some work, but they are not in the present form. We don't have that. We don't have that text. Okay, so we consider Kavi Rajmarga as the very first Kannada language or Kannada literature which is been given here. Okay, when we move ahead, then we are going to see that actually this Kavi Raj Marga here, he is talking about all the poets who were there, okay, who were there, okay, before him, and they, about their work he is also mentioning there. Okay, when you move further, then you are going to see that Karnataka, specifically we are talking about this Karnataka, it was having a strong hold of Zionism. So don't get confused whenever the examiner is asking you that Karnataka was having a strong hold of Buddhism during the time of this early Kannada literature or early Telugu literature. So they are going to play with your, okay, with the information. So you should be having this in your mind, that it was Jainism which was having a strong hold in Karnataka at that point of time. Means roughly you can say from 8th century to 12th of century, means nearby there. Okay, I am subject to correction. Okay, so I could only give you the assumption that you may take roughly 8th to 10th century onward. Okay, because it was quite means it was an era of Jain literature. Okay, most of the work, or you can say most of the Kannada literature, they were having the Zen as a theme. Okay, whatever principle, whatever means moral or ethics that was been related to Zionism, it was been the taken as a theme of Kannada literature. Okay, there we saw. We are talking about the early medieval. Okay, early medieval Kannada literature. Okay, then we will be coming across the three famous. They are the very famous Kannada writer, or we can say Kannada poets, okay, or writer. So they are Pampa, Punna, and Rana. Okay, so among them three, okay, out of these three, this Pampa is the greatest. He is the greatest Kannada writer, okay, or the we can say the greatest figure in field of Kannada literature. Okay, then we move ahead and we are coming to know that all these three person or all these three Kannada writer, they are actually the composer of Jain Purana, and we came to know in the last lecture, in the previous lecture, means in the section of Jain literature, we saw that Jain Purana actually it consisted of the sacred biography of 24th Tirthankaras, and there we too saw that Adi Purana, where it mentions about the very first, you can say the Tirthankara, that is the Risha, who is also very familiar with the name of Adinath. And this work, Adi Purana, this is the work of Pampa. He is the person, he is the person who has written Adi Puran, and this is the account of life of first Tirthankara, that is the Rishabh or Adinath, as I mentioned you. Okay, apart from writing this Adinath, he too wrote Vikrama Arjuna Vijaya. Okay, Vikrama Arjuna Vijaya. This is also a very famous work, and this work is actually based upon the Mahabharata story. This is the work which is actually based upon the Mahabharata story, and this is the Kannada language. Okay, Kannada. If you remember in the last class when I was taking Jain literature, there I mentioned that apart from Prakrit, Sanskrit, and Maharashtra, and other language too, Kannada played a very important role in Jain literature. Okay, and here you are going to see that, and you are already seeing it. Okay, then we are moving towards Punna. He's a very intelligent writer. You can say that he is having a good command over two languages, that is the Sanskrit and Kannada. So he is writing in Sanskrit. Apart from Sanskrit, he is also having a good command on Kannada. So he is writing in both the languages, and that is why he has been regarded as Ubhaya Kavi Chakravarti. That means he is an imperial poet in both the languages, and he got a title. You should mark it out. That is the Ubhaya Kavi Chakravarti. Okay, why he has been given this title, Kavi Chakravarti or Ubhaya Kavi Chakravarti? Because he is writing in both the languages, that is the Sanskrit and Kannada, and it's quite perfect. There is no, you can say, you can't indicate out, means there is any of the weakness or any breakage in the style. Actually, if you are going to say in the literary term, or you can say in literary, you can say flavor or style, you won't. Okay, then another one of the very important figure you find it out here is Chamunda Rai. Okay, this Chamunda Rai, he is also very famous one. Actually, he was a general and a minister under the Ganga king. Okay, and he wrote an account of 24 saint. Okay, he wrote an account of 24 saint, and it was in continuous prose. There is no verse. Okay, there is no verse. It is written in the prose. Okay, prose, and there one is verse. Okay, so he is writing in the prose. Okay, and this is also in the continuous. There is no breakage. There is no hindrance. Okay, so that was the uh, Trisha Shitla. Yeah, Trisha Shitla Mahapurana. This is what he wrote. Okay. Then we move ahead and we find a 12th century work, that is the work of this Nagachandra, or we can say Abhinava Pampa, who is writing about the Ramacharitra Purana. Okay, Ramachandra Charita. Okay, Ramachandra Charita Purana. Actually, this is one of the Jain version of Rama story. Okay, this is the Jain version of Rama story. In the last class, in the last lecture, or in the very previous lecture, we saw the Tamil version that was written by Kamban. Okay, Kamban is actually writing Ira Vartam. Okay, Ira Vartam. That is the Tamil version of Rama story or Ramayana. Okay, and if we talk about this Jain version of Ramayana, then or Rama story, then you should be having this name in your mind, that is the Nagachandra or Abhinava Pampa. He is the one who is writing the Ramachandra Charita Purana. Okay, then you move ahead and you come across, this is the 12th century. Okay, this is the 12th century. Okay, you should this is very important, okay, to mark it out. 12th, then again you are going to say in the 12th century there is a very famous literary person. His name Neminatha. Okay, Neminatha, he is actually writing Lilavati. Okay, this Lilavati is actually based upon the love story of this Kadamba prince and one of the princess. Okay, it's all about, it is written in the mix of verse and prose. It is both, it is in a mixture, that is in the verse and as well as in the prose. You find it out there. Okay, then we are moving ahead and we will find somewhere inscriptions mentioned here, and here we see that inscriptions uses somewhere verse. Okay, they are using verse and they are marked by the literary flavor. Apart from literary flavor, we are also seeing a literary style. Okay, and this we are talking about the early medieval inscriptions. Okay, when you move further, then you would somewhere find about Telugu literature. Now you are coming towards Telugu literature. Kannada over. Okay. Now come to the Telugu literature and the earliest surviving work. Here they are talking about the earliest surviving work. That is the first 2.5 books of Mahabharata. That is the first 2.5 books of Mahabharata. And who is the person who is writing this first 2.5 book in the Telugu language? Is none other than Nanya. Okay, Nanya is the person who is writing in the 11th century. Okay, so he's the very first. Before this, there were some Telugu work, but we don't find any of the you can say evidence. Okay, so speculation can be made, assumption can be made that there might have been some Telugu work. Okay, it's not he's not the very first one. There might have been, but it is the earliest surviving. See this term, earliest surviving. So it survived, that's why it has been mentioned here. That is, it is the earliest surviving work in the Telugu literature. That is the first 2.5 book of Mahabharata, and this is, and the person who wrote it is none other than Nanya. Okay, Nanya is the person, and this book is actually written in a mixture form. That is the verses. Apart from verses, he has also used prose. Okay, so these two are the things which have been used here. That is verse and the prose. Okay, so they are writing in a very mixture. So this can be asked that there were something new, okay, in the pattern. If you see earlier, then they are either writing continuously in the prose or in the verse, but later on you will see that it is right. It has been written in the mixture form. That is the verse and the prose. Okay, so moving ahead, you would get that person who is means asking them to write. Okay, so Chalukya king. This is very important. You should know that Chalukya king, who is named Raja Rajendra. Okay, Raja Rajendra. He is the person who is asking them, or he is the person who is requesting them to write it. Okay, and he is coming from Chalukya. That is also you should keep in mind that is coming from Eastern Chalukya. Okay, he's coming from Eastern Chalukya. So they may ask you that Cholas, Pandyas, Chera, Pallavas. So like this, they may frame a question for you. So you should be very, very conscious here. Okay, while noting it down. Okay. Now coming to further, we are seeing the Telugu poetic style. Okay, and who is the person who is means leading a foundation of Telugu poetic style? Okay, so he is none other than, as I mentioned you, Nanya. Okay, Nanya is the person who is leading the foundation of Telugu poetic style, and he has got a nickname in Telugu tradition. And this Telugu tradition actually gave him a nickname, that is the Vaga. See, this is Vaga Nusha Sunnudu. Okay, Vaganusha Sandanu. Actually, this means maker of speech. Okay, means he was so means thorough with the terms and the new words that his means marking means he used a variety of Sanskrit and regional meters there. Okay, and there was a good combination of Sanskrit component with Telugu words. Okay, he was so versed with the terms and word, how to means use and where to use, and a very good combination he was having. Okay, and we see his work, and he is well renowned, and that's why he got a name, a nickname. Okay, epithet. Okay, you see this epithet. Actually, this means nickname. This means actually nickname. Okay, when you move further, then you will come across a person, or you can say a minister who is named Tikna. Okay, here is it. That is Tikna. He is actually associated with the court of Manu Siddhi. Okay, Manua Siddhi. Okay, it is Manua Siddhi actually, and he is the person, or Tikna is the person who is going to add 15. He is going to add 15 Purvas, okay, Purvas to the Nanya's Mahabharata. Okay, the first 2.5 books where he wrote, and there he is going to add 15 this 15 Purvas. Okay, and there he is going to set a new trend in a narrative style. Okay, and here he is going to set a new trend in the narrative style, and who is the person? He is none other than Tikna. Okay, Tikna is the person. Apart from that, he also composed some of the other work, and one of them is well known. That is the Uttara Ramanyu. Okay, Uttara Ramanyu. This is the work of Tikna only. Okay. Now, when you move further, then you would get something to know about some other writers. Okay, this is Nanni Hodda. Okay, Nanni Hodda, who wrote Kumara Shambhu Vamu. Kumara Shamba Vamu. Okay, Kumara Shamba Vamu. He's writing this, and there he described himself as a ruler of a small principality that was Orayu. Orayu was a place, if I'm correct. Yeah, here it's mentioned Orayu. This is a place where he mentions that he is the ruler of that particular area. Okay, and he is Nanni Hudda. Okay, Nanni Hudda, or someone call is Nanni Kodda. Okay, so this is the South Indian pronunciation. So if I am going wrong, then you do write in the comment box. Okay. Then we see how the section has been ended in this book. That is the history of early and medieval, history of ancient and early medieval India, which was been written by Dr. Upinder Singh. So she ended up this section while saying that this Telugu literature reached a level of maturity in the 14th century during Kakatya period. So you should keep this in your mind. That is the 14th century when it is reaching its level of maturity. See, it is reaching the maturity. It is not very much means you cannot say that he got a this Telugu literature means got so much means flourished, or it is means at a highest point of it achievement. Okay, it is not right now highest point of achievement, but somewhere it has got a level of maturity. Okay, in the society, or in the society. Yeah, society would be the correct one, or in the field of literature, we can say in the field of literature. So this Telugu reached a level of maturity in the 14th century, and this time you see Kakatya. You see Kakatya in the picture. Kakatya. This is very very important. If you have came across this Kohinoor diamond, so there it is. Okay, so Kohinoor actually came out from here. Okay, so if you see the root, then you would get this Kakatya in the picture. Okay, then when you move, then before she ends her topic, he mentioned that about Vijayanagara king, okay, Vijayanagara Empire. There was a very famous Krishna Devaraya, okay, Krishna Devaraya. During his time, Telugu literature actually reached a point of achievement, okay. So this should be in your mind that it was during Vijayanagara Empire, okay, or you can say Vijayanagara king, that was the Krishna Devaraya, during whose reign this Telugu literature actually reached the highest point of achievement. Here, I would like to end up I would like to wind up my lecture. And further, I would be coming up with the next section, that was other ancient texts. Okay, there you would be coming up about Kalidas, and then other this Ashwagosha, Bhasha, whatever Buddha Charita, and other things. So we will be looking in the next lecture. Okay. So by the time, be connected here, okay, and do follow my channels. I'm going to take each and every sections, okay, of this book. I'm going to complete this book. That is the history of ancient and early medieval India, as I promised you. This is the book which I'm going to complete it out. Okay, so this is the book I'm going to complete. So I have completed till this Telugu literature, and this you can say Kannada literature. Okay, and the further section would be about other sources, or you can say other ancient texts. Okay, where we are going to see some foreign accounts too. Okay, Bana Bhatta is there, Bana is there. So we are going to see that all. Okay, so by the time, enjoy your days. Okay, so have a good day. So, thank you.